Okay, now that our Attorney General has gotten his selfie, I want to wish everyone a good evening. Thanks for everyone coming out. I want to welcome you to the 41st Annual Law Alumni Awards Celebration. My name is Dave Stark. I'm the chair of the Law Alumni Board. I'm senior counsel at Faegre Drinker and a proud double buff. Undergrad in 1969 and a member of the law school class of 1973. Before we begin, I'd like to recognize that the University of Colorado sits upon land within the Ute, Cheyenne, and Arapaho Peoples territories. Further, we acknowledge that 48 contemporary tribal nations are historically tied to the lands that make up the state of Colorado. One quick housekeeping item. Please place your meal ticket at the top of your table setting so the servers will know whether you get fish, vegetarian, beef, or whatever. It's been 3 years since we've been able to celebrate in person. And I want to thank Michael Kerrigan, the chair-elect, and the chair of the banquet committee, along with the talented and dedicated staff of the law school for putting together this celebration that honors such inspiring alumni and friends of our school. I request that all current Law Alumni Board members in attendance stand and be recognized. Now, paving the way for these efforts are also the former Law Alumni Board members that are joining us this evening. And I ask all former Law Alumni Board members to stand and be recognized as well. This outstanding group of people, both the current members of the board and the past members of the board, have devoted their time and energy to elevating Colorado law and its community. Now, I'd like to also take a moment to recognize some distinguished guests that are in attendance, members of the federal and Colorado judiciary, Colorado elected officials, and other esteemed members of the legal community. Please stand and be recognized. It is my pleasure to be with you as we recognize our community and this year's award recipients to our 41st awards celebration tonight. We honor 6 individuals who exemplify the University of Colorado Law School's mission and vision through their work and achievements. So let's get started with our celebration. Please join me in welcoming Richard Murray, the stand-in for Michael Kerrigan, who was the banquet committee member. Michael suffered a shoulder injury when snowboarding. And it was serious enough that he had to have surgery, and he's recovering nicely, but he decided it probably wouldn't be a good idea to come out tonight, and so Richard is going to fill in. So Richard, please join us.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Richard Murray. I'm a past chair of the Law Alumni Board. I'm a shareholder at Polsinelli and also a proud double buff and member of the class of 2007. Before we get started, we have a real short video for you all to watch. Please cue the sizzle reel. Sizzle.
She doesn't seek cameras. She doesn't seek notoriety. She's a true public servant.
I mean, she's just really one of those people that is supremely dedicated to public service in all of its roles.
His generosity extends far beyond just financial.
He's a pretty tireless leader in the community. He's always looking for opportunities to help people.
She has always been committed to public service.
Gail has this unique skill of bringing people together.
He's a lifelong educator for all people, but he doesn't need a classroom to do it.
Those are the kind of key qualities you want in a lawyer, and he has them all in spades.
She understands and can see how some people maybe have some artificial limitations placed on them, because she sees that, and she can also see that those limitations are unnecessary.
This is the greater good. We're doing the best work you could ever do as a lawyer. This is the calling.
All right. So I am honored to celebrate our 41st awards ceremony in person with each of you tonight. All right, in person. This is the law school's signature event and a festive occasion for us to gather, celebrate, and to reconnect with fellow alumni and our colleagues. It is so great to see the strong, continued support for this occasion, especially after 2 years of COVID. Please join me in recognizing this year's 51 event sponsors and the 25 sponsors who have sponsored for over 10 years. Your ongoing support has enabled us to raise crucial funds for our law school. You can see the list of all the sponsors on page 4 of your program. My sincerest thanks to each of you. Tonight, we are excited to give 9 door prizes to some lucky attendees. Our platinum and gold event sponsors have generously sponsored these door prizes. The first door prize is sponsored by our platinum sponsor, Berg Hill Greenleaf Rashidi LLP. And I am going to do the honors right here. And I won't look. All right. I need like a bingo thing I could spin around. So the first, all right, the first winner of our door prize for the evening is Josh Landy. All right, Josh. Josh, you could pick up your door prize at the registration table downstairs at the end of the evening. Congratulations. We'll do the 8 remaining door prizes at the conclusion of our program this evening. If you do win, please claim your prize by the end of the night at the registration table. Now, let's focus our attention on the awards and our nomination process. The Distinguished Achievement Awards are conferred on a rotating basis in 9 categories. Each recognizes alumni who have risen to the top of their profession or who have made substantial impact in their area of practice. Now, because we can finally do this in person, we would like to recognize any honorees from the 2020 and 2021 virtual celebrations who are here present with us tonight to please stand and be recognized. Also, all former Distinguished Award recipients and past NAUS Award recipients from prior years, I invite you to also to stand and please be recognized. Thank you for joining us this evening. Nominations for Distinguished Achievement Awards are submitted online throughout the year and reviewed by the Law Alumni Board's nominating committee. This year, nominations will be accepted through the end of July, and selections will be made by the end of September. The Law Alumni Awards banquet next year will also be in March of 2023. Please accept this as my invitation to each of you to nominate alumni to be recognized at next year's awards banquet. There's information on how to submit a nomination on page 22 of your program. Now, I'd like to introduce Dean Lolita Buckner-Innes, who will kick off the award presentations without further ado. Please join me in welcoming her to the stage and to the Colorado law community in her first year as Dean of our law school.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Richard. It is great to be with you, Colorado Law and friends. Let me just say, let's give ourselves a hand. I am so thrilled to look out here and see you all for this 41st annual Colorado Law Alumni Awards celebration. I think, as has already been pointed out, this is our first time being live in 2 really long years. And I just want us all to embrace this moment. I am thrilled to see all of you here tonight, and I'm thrilled, moreover, to virtually be with those of you who are with us remotely. Thank you so much. As I have said, there are relatively few silver linings to the last 2 years that we've just gone through, but one of them is that we now know how to make events like this available, not just to those of us who are here in the room, but those of us who are out in the community, in the state, and in the world, and we appreciate that. Also, I just want to say to Richard and David, Richard and David, everybody knows what great friends you are of the law school, at least everyone who knows you, but I want to make clear that we are very, very lucky to have good friends like them and good friends like all of you. It is such an honor and a pleasure to gather here with you. I am so thrilled that there is an engaged and supportive community. And as I've said to many of you, both when I met you in person and when I was interviewing for this job, perhaps one of the most exciting things about the many, many interviews that I underwent for this job, the most exciting thing perhaps was the alumni engagement. The alumni and the friends who came to the community meetings and the open sessions. I can tell you, I've worked at a lot of places, I've worked at a lot of law schools. I have never seen this much engagement and caring for an institution. And I said to myself, this is a place where I want to be. This is a place where I want to work, because clearly we at Colorado Law are turning out people who care. I am thrilled to celebrate the extraordinary contributions and accomplishments of tonight's honorees, 6 very, very special members of the community. And before we get to that, though, I want to take yet another moment to thank our sponsors. I think, as was mentioned previously, we have 51 sponsors with special recognition to our platinum sponsor, Berg, Hill, Greenleaf, Raciti, LLP. Let's take a moment to thank them. We also have 8 gold sponsors, Burns, Figa and Will, Chayette and Danzo, Colorado Forum, Gibson, Dunn and Crutcher, Holland and Hart, Polsinelli, University of Colorado Foundation, and Wheeler Trigg O'Donnell. Once again, thank you so much. And just as a reminder, you can see a complete list of our sponsors in your program at page 4. I now want to get to one of the reasons that we're all here, and that is to celebrate our amazing, amazing honorees. Let's begin with our Dean's Choice Award. Are we ready? You ready? Okay. We should ask for a drum roll. Next time I'm going to get him to bring a drum in here. Okay. The Dean's Choice Award. This year's Richard Shadden Adopted Alumnus Award goes to... You ready? There you go, there you go. George V. Berg for his support of Colorado law and our students. George, we need you to come up here. We are going to see a short video that will not begin to do justice to George.
George gives, I think, the most important thing, his time. He will sit down with you to help you. I actually originally met George in probably 1997, 1998. I was a relatively young lawyer and we were opposite each other. You know, normally that kind of relationship could go a couple different ways. But with George, it was a very good relationship, and he kind of took on almost a mentoring role, even though we were adverse to each other.
His generosity extends far beyond just financial, donating his time, sitting on boards.
He's a pretty tireless leader in the community. He's served on boards, worked with the Boulder Chamber. He's always looking for opportunities to help people.
I do say that George is the reason why I'm in private practice. I responded to a posting and I went for an interview at Berg Hill, Greenleaf, and Rashidi. My first law firm interview ever, my entire career, and that is where I first met George. We had a discussion for about 90 minutes and I left that interview thinking this is a place where I can fit in, where there are like-minded people.
My name is George Berg, and I grew up in Houston, Texas, and began my career practicing law there. After having decided to start this law firm, one of the things that we decided to do was to initiate a scholarship with the law school.
The Adopted Alumnus Award is an incredible honor for George. It demonstrates and recognizes his commitment to CU, to giving back to the CU community, the law school, and then our larger Boulder community.
It has been an amazing pleasure to be able to deal with the colleagues that I've had an opportunity to work with. Not only just the people in our firm, but the people in other firms here in this community. It has been a real pleasure to practice law in Boulder.
George, I want to tell you thank you for everything you've done. You've done so much to help everyone out, and congratulations, this award is well deserving.
I do need to thank a few folks. First of all, thanks to Richard for lending his name to this award and giving it such meaning. Second, thanks to CU Law and the commitment that it has to our community. It takes a lot to educate young lawyers, and CU does a great job of that. Third, I'd like to thank all of my partners, our associates and our staff, and the commitment they've made to our practice and to the law itself and to each other. And then finally, I would like to thank my friends, my family, many are sitting down here, for allowing me to pursue my ambition and to pursue my practice for what's almost now 50 years. Thanks.
The next award is the Sunny Flowers Award. And I just want to say, though, just remind us that we have so many, many wonderful friends and alumni. And I want to let you know that because this was my first year here as dean, I was really eager and anxious to dive into these processes. And perhaps one of the most difficult things that I encountered was that there were so many, many wonderful possibilities for honorees. And so just recognize that because we had to limit ourselves in our choices, that does not mean that there were not so many other amazing people. And I call that having a good problem. That's a good problem. So the Sunny Flowers Award. Last year was the inaugural year for this award, and we are thrilled to be awarding it again this year to a very deserving recipient. This Dean's Choice Award is named after an outstanding alumnus and cherished friend to many who are here this evening, the late Sunny Flowers. The Sunny Flowers Award honors someone who, in the spirit of Sunny himself, has demonstrated exceptional commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion within the law school and the legal profession. It is my pleasure to announce this year's Sunny Flowers Award recipient, Kathleen B. Nolte, the class of 1985. Kathleen's career exemplifies leadership and innovative change to advance the objectives for which the Sunny Flowers Award stands. Please roll Kathleen's video, and Kathleen, thank you for all that you do. And if you would, please make your way to the stage.
I've known Kathleen Nolte since I was a very junior attorney. When I first met Kathleen, one of the things that I noticed is how genuine she was and how committed and caring she was to the success of lawyers who looked like me in the legal profession.
I think the most rewarding aspect of my career is seeing diverse lawyers succeed, despite the barriers, despite the obstacles, despite the lack of inclusiveness in organizations. That's one of the things that gives me great joy.
Kathleen has done some really transformative and continues to do really transformative work in the DEI space, diversity, equity, and inclusion. When I got to know her, she was starting up the Colorado Campaign for Inclusive Excellence, and it was groundbreaking.
Like any other industry or sector, we need full representation from people from a wide variety of backgrounds and social identity groups. But it's even more so important in the legal profession because without it, it damages the justice system's credibility.
A lot of the law firms, a lot of the corporations in Colorado were really focused on diversity, but nobody was really moving in the direction of inclusivity. And Kathleen really came to the table and said, diversity is something that we need to talk about. Equity is something that we need to talk about, but those two things can't be mutually exclusive. You also have to have inclusivity. And when she started really merging those concepts together, that is when I think you started in Colorado to see a lot of significant change in that space.
We lawyers have been engaged in traditional diversity efforts for over 40 years, since before I went to law school. But we don't necessarily have inclusive workplaces that are welcoming, that make people from all backgrounds feel that they belong.
I think Kathleen cares so deeply about these issues because she understands and can see how some people maybe have some artificial limitations placed on them, not for anything that they have done, but just because of who they are and what they are. And I think that really drives her and creates a lot of passion because she sees that, and she can also see that those limitations are unnecessary.
That's what I love to do, is to teach people how to do better. Law firms and other legal organizations are full of good, well-intentioned people who are committed to doing better. They just don't know exactly what to do. My greatest joy, and the only way that I can truly achieve my soul's mission, is to make especially the legal industry, the legal profession, more inclusive so that diverse lawyers can be more successful.
Thank you to the Dean and to the Alumni Council for this incredible award, recognizing my life's work to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion. I want to congratulate my fellow awardees on their achievements. I also want to recognize and thank my family, my friends, and my classmates who are with me here tonight, who have supported me. I also want to acknowledge the tremendous role that my late husband, Craig Schaefer, who was a United States magistrate judge here in Denver, my lifelong partner in this work behind the scenes. Did you know that we lawyers are the least diverse of all professions in the United States? All other professional groups are doing better than we are in terms of racial and ethnic diversity. As Dr. Martin Luther King said more than 50 years ago, this is no time for apathy or complacency. This is a time for vigorous and positive action. Action is also something that Robert Kennedy spoke of in one of my favorite quotes. Each time a person stands up for an ideal or acts to improve the lot of others or strikes out against injustice, they send forth a tiny ripple of hope, and crossing each other from a million different centers of energy and daring, those ripples build a current which can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance. We lawyers are the guardians of equity and justice in our society, and it is our obligation to stand up for what's right and just. It is time for action, so I will ask each of you tonight, what can you do this year? What will you do this year to assist our law school in its incredible efforts to diversify our legal profession? What will you do to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in your organizations, in your personal lives, and in our greater society? That's the call to action tonight that I give to you. And again, thank you so much for this incredible award. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. The highlight of my entire life. Thank you.
Once again, congratulations to our wonderful honorees. I now want to turn the stage back over to Dave Stark, who has more awards for you.
Thank you, Dean Innes. Please join me in learning more about Victoria J. Ortega, class of 1990. She is awarded the Distinguished Achievement in Public Service Award. Please play the video about Victoria.
The first thing about Vicki is she's kind. Vicki operates out of love. She operates out of wanting to assist, of wanting to be of service. That's what makes her a great public servant.
You know, Vicki is exactly who you want a public servant to be. She's so smart that she graduated high school at 16 and went to CU at 16 years old. She also, supports her community. She's active in her church, but I've watched her, for years now take, food to elderly neighbors who start having trouble getting out. I mean, she's just really one of those people that is supremely dedicated to public service in all of its roles.
I saw a poster at the high school for a workshop in Washington, D.C., and I signed up for that. I told my mom, I'm going to Washington, D.C. You're on the floor of Congress, you're taking tours of buildings, just being there and seeing that. For a kid that really wasn't expected to do any of those things, and my high school at the time didn't have college prep program, racial tensions in our high school, different things like that, where you could just see that there's a difference, and you are different from them, they are different from you. And I think that just started sparking an interest in wanting to be part of something else that would create some change.
Vicki does not like extra attention. She doesn't seek cameras. She doesn't seek notoriety. She's a true public servant. It's important to recognize those unsung heroes. It's important to recognize the people that help keep this democracy safe and secure, but also accessible. The people who have helped change this city for the better, the state for the better. And that's Vicki Ortega.
We have this background of government service. We have this background as line attorneys of knowing what the law says, what it allows, what it doesn't allow, what it means. And it's that connection to people that makes it meaningful and productive and useful for the good of the order. So I think that public service, there's a big role for all of us to have a role in government service where we can connect to people and make it more meaningful for them as they navigate their lives.
Vicki has dedicated her entire life, her professional career, not in the private sector making buku bucks defending corporations or anything like that. Vicki is right here in City Hall working for the people.
Vicki, if you come up, please.
Thank you to CU Law School and to the Alumni Association for this recognition. And I really want to thank the Law School Admissions Committee who took a chance on me all those years ago. You know, it's true, I was called into government service at an early age, and I have loved it. I have given everything I could in service as a line attorney and as deputy clerk and recorder for Clerk Lopez, who is with me here tonight. It's been an absolute privilege serving the people of Denver all these years. Tonight, I share this award with thousands of attorneys and government attorneys and public servants, like my colleagues here tonight and watching at home online from the Denver City Attorney's Office and the Denver Clerk and Recorder's Office, who have all dedicated their careers to frontline government service. In my experience, it's the frontline government worker who are the cornerstone of government transparency, efficiency, and accountability. Every day, we strive to provide fair and equal access to government benefits, government services, programs, contracts, and so much more. In the Clerk and Recorder's Office, we take very seriously our role in protecting the fundamental American right to vote, the right to marry, and the right to hold property in the city and county of Denver. I am so pleased tonight to share the gratitude expressed in this award with all front-facing public employees everywhere and the government lawyers who stand with them. Thank you so much, and before I end, I have to say a special happy birthday to my mother, Frances, who turned 87 years old yesterday. Happy birthday. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Next, we have the Distinguished Achievement Award in Private Practice. Let's hear more about Herrick Lidstone, class of 1978, who's being awarded that Distinguished Achievement Award. Please play the video for Herrick.
Herrick and I have practiced law here at Bergen-Spiegel-Will for 19 years together. He's so thorough in everything that he does, from learning about the particular topic to explaining it to other people. And that means explaining it to clients too, and they really have an appreciation for being taught somewhat by him.
I first met Herrick in the mid-1980s. My first interactions with Herrick gave me the impression of a competent and well-educated and kind individual. Prospective clients would sense immediately that they were dealing with somebody of substance and somebody with whom they could relate quite easily.
You come up with a topic or an issue, and he's going to take it and run with it. And you give him feedback on it, and he listens. And then if you point something out that he didn't think of, he's going to expand on that.
Herrick is the great lawyer that he is because he has a wealth of knowledge, he has tremendous recall, he communicates so well, he has such great empathy. Those are the kind of key qualities you want in a lawyer, and he has them all in spades.
I haven't worked a day in my entire 43-year legal career. It's been too much fun to call work. Every time I talk to somebody, there's an opportunity to learn. Everyone's got a different perspective than I have. And the learning is not just what Herrick reads and what Herrick does, it's what other people contribute. This is not an individual sport. This is a team sport. You can't do it by yourself.
I would like to say to Herrick that nobody deserves this more, because I see how much time and effort he puts into everything. He's a lifelong educator for all people, but he doesn't need a classroom to do it.
Herrick is a great choice for this award because of all that he's done, not only for the bar, but for this law school as well. And it's just hard to imagine that there are many people more qualified than Herrick for this award.
Herrick, please come up and receive your award. While he's coming up, I just want to say that I first met Herrick when he was a newly minted lawyer in 1978 at my law firm, and I knew he had something special then, and he proved me right.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. Thank you very much, Dean Indus, and to the Law Alumni Board for this award. I'm very honored to receive it. I'm not sure I believe half of what Mark or Teresa said, but I thank them very much for saying it. I know that while I have accomplished a few things in my legal career, none of them are accomplished alone. I've had help from the beginning. My fellow lawyers from Burns-Fiegel-Will have supported me for more than 20 years now. I could not have accomplished much of anything without the support of my family, my wife of 43 years, Mary Lynn, the kids, James, Kevin, and John. They've put up with long days, long nights, and crazy weekends. I've tried to be present, but whenever I haven't been in, my wife has always been able to fill in and has supported me continuously. Whatever I have achieved, I've had help from a lot of people. One thing that I just want to close with saying is that I ask all of the older lawyers, I use that term advisedly, not being one myself, to look to and work with the younger lawyers. Younger lawyers look to the older lawyers, look to the Bar Association, look to other areas of service. Get out of the office, meet people, do things. It is an incredibly valuable accomplishment to get out of the office, to meet people, to accomplish good in the office, to accomplish good out of the office. And I think if the young lawyers talk to the more senior lawyers, they'll find the same thing from them. The CU Law School has been a great for me over the years. I've enjoyed my continuing association there, and I have continued my association with everybody that I have worked with over the years. So thank you very much, and thank you to all of you.
Next is the Distinguished Achievement Award for Small and Solo Practice. Let's watch Drew Nielsen, class of 1997 video.
You know, every person is just a person. We are all flawed, and we've all had things that have shaped us, damaged us. We're not always perfect. I always feel righteous helping people. This is oftentimes their worst moment that they'll ever go through in their life.
Criminal defense lawyers are a really specific class of lawyers. It's not a likable, really, area of the law. The first question they ask is, you know, how do you help guilty people? How can you do that? How do you sleep at night? It's strange because, you know, Drew's response to something like that would be, how do you sleep at night? Knowing that people are being accused and run over by the government.
I can always find the humanity, the redemption, the good side of people. I see them as they are, and I don't think people should be defined by their worst moment.
Drew is a remarkable lawyer. She is extremely bright and thoughtful and analytical. She's very compassionate to her clients. She, you know, nearly touches on every single question to the nth degree that a client might have of her, always rounding back to make sure that her clients completely understand the process and what's happening.
I think the practice of law is important to keep things honest. We need lawyers to make sure that we have our democracy, that we have our freedom, that we have everything that sometimes we don't think about and take for granted.
We feel like this is the greater good. We're doing the best work you could ever do as a lawyer, that this is the calling.
Lawyers can make change. That's something that CU Law School really ingrained in people is service. And what do you do? It's not just about making money. It's about helping people and making changes and doing good. Well, that was nice. You know, to use something I've probably never said or heard in court, lucky ducky. I am a super lucky ducky. And, you know, we're here for CU, and I want to start with CU Law School. I cannot imagine a better place to have had the good fortune to go to law school. Exactly. And I know you guys all feel that as well. There's so many great things about it, but to me, the best thing was the people. I am not a double buff like Mr. Stark here, but my parents and my grandparents met each other at CU, and I, with my good fortune, had the pleasure and privilege to meet my wonderful husband and partner in crime, Tom Ward, at CU Law School. And I have many wonderful and lifelong friends that are out here that I met at CU who have really supported me, inspired me in my career, so thank you for that. I also want to talk about the three wonderful women sitting at my table here who have, I think, really helped me to get where I am at. And those women are, first of all, my mother, Leanne Nielsen, my aunt, Janice, or Cookie Bashore, as she's better known as, and my mentor and the person that is responsible for me starting my career as a Colorado public defender, Lisa Wayne. And what those three women taught me and were role models for me to always try your hardest, work hard, but more importantly, to be fierce. And I think that quality, to be fierce, has not only helped me in my career, but really is kind of my mantra for life and has made me enjoy my life and given me my friends and everything I have. So thank you. I'm a hell of a lucky ducky, and I really appreciate this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Drew. Now I invite Dean Innes to come back to the stage to present the William Lee Nouse Award.
Thank you, Dave. I am actually here to announce that we are going to take a short break of 10 minutes, an intermission before the Nouse Award. We want to make sure that everyone is getting served. You have a chance to get through a good portion of your meal, and then I will be back in just about 10 minutes. So enjoy, and I'll see you shortly. Call to order. We have one more award to give tonight, if I could have your attention. We are at the final award of the evening, the William Lee Nouse Award. Please enjoy this video providing background on the person behind the award. If we could play the Nouse Award video.
My grandfather, William Lee Nouse, was born in Ouray, Colorado in the late 1880s. Ended up being a graduate of the University of Colorado Law School in 1911. My grandfather really was a man for Colorado, as was noted in one of the Denver newspapers. He was a man for all seasons in that from a judicial standpoint, he served on the Colorado Supreme Court and was Chief Justice of the court. From a legislative standpoint, he was elected both to the State House of Representatives and the State Senate, and became President of the Senate, President Pro Tem. And in the executive branch, he became Governor of Colorado. We think probably the only person in the history of the United States to serve as the top office holder in all three branches of government. And in 1950, Harry Truman was President of the United States. And he offered the U.S. federal judgeship to my grandfather, and he had a tough decision to make. He was governor on one hand, very popular governor, but he loved the law on the other hand. So he did accept that appointment to the United States Federal Court, District Court, and stayed there until he died in 1959. Well, the award presented by the law school is the one the family cherishes the most. A lot of people asked him in his life, what did he prefer, the executive branch of being governor or the judicial branch and the law? And he, on balance, preferred the law. He was a true public servant.
It is now my pleasure to announce the recipient of the Nance Award, the highest honor Colorado law bestows upon a graduate. The award is given to a graduate of Colorado Law School to recognize outstanding achievement and sustained service to Colorado law. Let's take a moment first to acknowledge the Nance family who are here with us this evening for their contribution and their continued support of tonight's program. Bob Nance, grandson of William Lee Nance and his family, thank you. Thank you so much for the honor of your presence this evening. I cannot say how much it means to us to have you here tonight. This year, the Nance Award will be bestowed upon Gail Clapper of the class of 1968. Gail's career is nothing short of tremendous. She serves as the member president of the Colorado Forum since 1989. Please enjoy a video tribute to this year's Nance Award recipient. If we could play Gail's video, and Gail, if you could, make your way up.
Gail and I went to high school together. She was one of the smartest people in the class, one of the most active. She was a natural-born leader. I think we all recognize that Gail was destined for greatness.
Both of us grew up in Colorado. I've crossed paths with Gail for most of my life, but we really came to know one another when we were both engaged in our professional lives in Colorado starting in the mid-70s.
Gail cares enormously about her community, whether it's a neighborhood or a city or our state or a nation, or for that matter, the planet. She really wants to make her environment a better place. And that drives a lot of what Gail does.
My name is Gail Clapper. I'm a fourth-generation Coloradan, citizen of the West. I'm most proud of the fact that I was able to find a career that used my legal background and allowed me to move to my passion.
She has always been committed to public service. She was a White House fellow, and then she came back to Colorado and was in the governor's cabinet in a couple of different positions. She has continued to practice law, but most importantly, she has continued to be very involved in Colorado public policy on a variety of boards and committees and at the Colorado Forum.
She doesn't hesitate to take on tough problems or challenges or whatever. She's a very determined, which the job of leading the forum is as good example as you can find, because you have people from all over Colorado, from various walks of life,
various political convictions, and yet she manages it flawlessly.
When the forum speaks, it is not a partisan voice. It's a very grounded, Coloradan, innovative voice. And Gail has been the heart and soul of the forum for decades.
I grew up really interested in wanting to lead for change. And what I discovered going to law school was that it allowed me the focus, the discipline, the ability to look at problems in a different way, to try to solve problems constructively. And that was a wonderful training opportunity for what I really had a passion to do.
Gail has this unique skill of bringing disparate interest people together. She has this ability to bring them together and to identify that sweet spot where they can actually come together, forge a consensus, and move forward in an area where that hasn't happened before. And she has consistently done that throughout her career.
I could tell you that it was some of the cases I solved. I could tell you that it was some of the boards I was able to chair. But really the best thing for me was the fact that I was able to create some balance between having 4 daughters, a husband who stuck through all of the turmoil with me for now 56 years, and now understanding that you can create that balance, that work and family and fun all are part of life. I can't see anybody. The William Lee Nouse Award is so meaningful to me for several reasons. William Nouse contributed to the state in ways that have never been duplicated, and you saw that in the video. I mean, who, in addition to being an outstanding attorney, serves as the Chief Justice of the Colorado Supreme Court, serves as the governor of Colorado, serves as the president pro tem of the Colorado Senate. That record is unique, and it's unique in Colorado's history, and it's a legacy that inspires all of us who work to achieve good public policy for this state. William Nouse was the grandfather of the wonderful Bob Nouse. Bob, I see you back there, who has followed in his grandfather's footsteps and serves Colorado in many ways that have enhanced the quality of this state. And the Nouse Award is really designed to inspire lawyers to contribute as they can to Colorado. And I see that message expressed at the law school as my fabulous granddaughter, Emma, sitting right here. Stand up, Emma, so they can see you. Emma enjoys the educational opportunity that CU Law School offers. So I thank you for this wonderful honor that inspires me to use the legal training that I was fortunate to receive at CU Law School to help make Colorado the best it can be. I want to thank Dan Ritchie and Becky Corliss and Harris Sherman for their generous comments in that lovely video, and for the work each of them does every day for our state. And I owe a huge debt of gratitude to the members of the Colorado Forum from all parts of Colorado who have joined with me to work by, get this, 100% consensus when no one agrees about much of anything today, to solve the most intractable problems of our state. And perhaps most importantly, I want to thank my husband of at least 100 years,
who has supported me every step of the way, and our 4 daughters and our 7 grandchildren for deciding to live here in Colorado, make Colorado their home, and each in their own way demonstrate the strength, the beauty, and the quality of the people of this state. I'm enormously grateful to you for allowing me the honor of walking respectfully behind Governor, Chief Justice, Senator Nouse, and working to follow his remarkable example. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wow, this has been such a tremendous, tremendous set of honorees. I now want to turn the program back over to Richard, who's going to close out the evening for us. Thank you once again.
All right, what a night. Yeah. All right, before we end the evening, I'd like to recognize our gold sponsors, and we will announce, or I'll draw, 8 more lucky winners for our door prizes. Again, all winners, please pick up your prizes at the registration desk before the end of the evening, and congratulations to all of our awardees this evening. Our 8 gold sponsors are Burns, Figa, and Will, Shia and Danzo, LLC, Colorado Forum, Gibson, Dunn and Crutcher, LLP, Holland and Hart, LLP, Polsonelli, the University of Colorado Foundation, and Wheeler Trigg O'Donnell. All right. I'll do this without looking. I'll grab 8. No more bribes are accepted. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. If you hear your name again, please pick up your prizes at the table downstairs. Ben Wilson. Congrats. All right, Ben. Scott McCombs. Beal Tejada. Alice Madden. All right. Julia Corin. Emma Cohen. Jeff Harbaugh. Harbaugh won something. College football joke, sorry. Brian Stunkel. All right. Congratulations to all of our door prize winners. And again, thank you to our platinum and our gold sponsors this evening. All right, so this concludes the formal program of our 41st Annual Law Alumni Awards celebration. You are invited to stay, have a drink, mingle, and attend the dessert reception in the back of the room. There are also current law students selling Colorado Law branded apparel downstairs in support of the Loan Assistance Repayment Program. And please don't forget to nominate candidates for next year's awards, and we'll see you next year. Thank you so much for attending. Oh, yeah. All right, and if I could also please have the current Law Alumni Board members to come to the stage for a group photo, that'd be great. Thank you. Can I please have all the current board members come to the stage?